Hello, lovely to be here again. Thank you for asking me to feature. I'm just going to go through a range of my poems. I'll go from childhood. It's sort of a birthday thing. Kids now get much more for their birthdays than I ever did. I had a lousy birthday, but there's still that same feeling of disappointment. This is a grudge chant. For my 10th birthday, I got a toy horse. A party was out of the question, of course, but I really wanted a Tiny Tears doll. My brother got me Play-Doh, which I never touch. I'm nauseous to its texture. Thank you so much, but I really wanted a Tiny Tears doll. Gran got me Ludo. My smile became thin. I thanked her profusely as it went in the bin. But I really wanted a Tiny Tears doll. Was there no end of crap presents today? Oh, a construction set. Cheers, Auntie May. But I really wanted a Tiny Tears doll. Mum made a cake. The icing was pink. I pigged the lot and was sick in the sink. But I really wanted a Tiny Tears doll. Thank you. The poets amongst us, that they're great fun to do, those chant rhymes. They're absolutely fun to do. I loved writing that. Okay, well, I've got a seasonal one. It made it into an anthology recently. This is called Christmas Special. Handling a brand new Bunty annual, sitting at Mum's feet like a Springer Spaniel, was an 11-year-old's idea of bliss and of something I still reminisce. Festive bonhomie from beehived aunts, until one too many avocates. But it was Gran who usually threw the first punch after that splendid turkey lunch. The Christmas spirit turned blue quickly, but I didn't care. I was reading the Dandy. Sent up to bed before things got nasty and relatives got drunk and arsey. Sitting on Gran's bed in contentment, I didn't care about the downstairs resentment. Armed with our whites, sweets and my 1970 Mandy, Gran's drunken tempers came in handy. Thank you. They were the most fantastic Christmases, I tell you. Okay, so I'll go on to another big part of our lives, that's cousins. We're lumped with cousins Christmas and otherwise. We grow up with them, they make us, they shape us, and they can go one way or another. And this one went another. Oh, cousin Lisa, with your white blonde pigtails and creamy skin, your brownie uniform covered in badges. Wholesome yet deadly. I hated you so much. Behind closed doors in your pristine white bedroom, you told me how you really have a baby. The soundtrack of Hair playing continuously because it had the word shit in one of the songs. Downstairs, you showed off your colour telly while your posh mum shoved currant bread at me, calling it tea when it wasn't even hot. You stayed intact while I walked out your door in pieces, never to be the same again. I loved you so much. Okay, and we'll move on to another milestone in our lives. One that is obsolete these days, but everyone had one, but it's completely been blown out. This is Pen Friend. Oh, Ingeborg, where are you now? You wrote to me from your beautiful German valley to my house by the off-licence. Fine crinkly letters in your halting English, a flower drawn at the end. You came to England so bright and bracing, while I was full of puppy fat and period pains. Taking you to the Palladium. Derek Nimmo in pantomime. What a culture shock that must have been. But you stayed bright and cheerful, while I had a face like a lemon. Despite the Second World War, my mum was sorry to see you go. When you started writing to a boy in my class, I knew it was the kiss of death. One more casualty lost to romance. But I stayed brave and wrote to Andre in Yugoslavia. Thank you. Yeah, so this is the same period, and once we got this quite interesting prompt to make colours out of the most grimmest of situations. And I couldn't think of anything grimmer than Christmas of 73. Lizzie's wobbly thighs are purple with cold. Limited heating, looming blackouts. Everyone was singing red. My true blue mum called Heath a traitor. What a dim view to take. And speaking of which, Liz said she's asked Paul Watkins round. I go pink. He says there's a new Slade Christmas song we put on top of the pops. The black and white screen clearly shows the colour of Noddy Holder's trousers. Despite his worldliness, Paul said he'd never been to a party before. He got off with Susan Turner. He doesn't know whether to ask her out, despite kissing her from hours through to Python Lee Jackson. She still doesn't set him on fire. What's the point of all that smooching and snogging if he's not going to come to anything? And I wonder what colour Susan's love bites are today. I know my face was turning green. We give Slade a lukewarm reception. That record will never catch on. Thank you. Oh, memories of that cold, cold winter. Oh dear. Okay, now I have a fairly new one about my school friend Julie, and I actually haven't learnt it. I always learn my things, and I have not. And this was also another prompt. Never judge a book by its cover, which was quite interesting. It's quite an interesting theme. So this is Cover Lover. Never judge a book by its cover. That's what Julie told me in class. She said she had a secret lover, then implied I had a big arse. But with Julie there was nothing underneath. She had no inner sensual core. I knew the cow was lying through her teeth, and she was just an intact grey-skirted boar. Julie said she was a smoker and drinker, a drinker and smoker, and that I was simply a square. But Julie was far too mediocre to even venture there. I do judge a cover and its book, and this one I wouldn't recommend. Julie's isn't even worth a look. I know what happens in the end. Thank you. I never rhyme really, but that one somehow seemed to be fitting. Okay, so I've got another one with Julie. She was the bane of my life, I tell you. This is Bloody Liar. Julie, you bloody liar. You said on your first date with Justin Stevens you showed him your bra. The second, your knickers. And the third was full sexual intercourse. He didn't even know who you were. I had to tell him. You didn't even go up the Wimpy Bar with him, let alone anywhere else. You lying cow. And what about this X film you said you'd get me into? I don't think your uncle really does work at the cinema. I'm not sitting next to you anymore. I don't care about your new ruler. You can stick it up your arse. And if you think I'm going up that youth club with you again, no, don't lie to me anymore. David Bowie is not going to be there. He is not a friend of your cousin's. Or is he? Okay, just this once. Oh, every time I fell for her. Bloody nightmare she was. Okay, we come on to another Julie. My school was full of Julies. And we come on to another Julie, a lot sharper version. And this was my disastrous brush with romance. This is Scrubber 2. Julie storms into the classroom. I've packed him in, she shouted. More like the other way round, I think, over my geography revision. This was Dave, her current pash. Julie's such a scrubber. She does it with every boy going. My mate says she even demands it. But Dave was not any boy, I sighed wistfully. My heart lurched as I recalled that dishy former fifth former. He's only after a shag, Julie bellowed. Sounded tip-top to me, but they say it hurts, even with someone as dreamy as him. Not all of us have been on a pill since we were 12. By some miracle, Dave's lips meet mine and the world becomes such a clearer place. I learn the humiliation of desire, while my coat stays chastely buttoned. Julie gets wind of this romance and makes another play for him. But I could offer what she could. But when I did, he just held me silently, tenderly. After a weekend of the phone not ringing, Julie comes in triumphantly on Monday morning. Dave sends his love. She smirked. I hide my tears in a maths equation, going off with the nearest scrubber after kissing me like that, the rotten bastard. But the truth was, I didn't know where to start. Why couldn't I be like her, worldly, demanding sex? But then I would have missed out on so much more. Thank you. And so we've plunged now into the Scrubber trilogy, really. And this is kind of a spin-off. And this is the walk home. We went home the dark way by the boneyard, but I wasn't scared with your denim arm around my waist. And when our lips met, that grim setting changed, like the Wizard of Oz, and I was wearing the red shoes. My head spun as your tobacco breath matched mine. Silk cut red and Peter Stuyvesant. King size, I think. I never had anything tasted sweeter. I was so confused. I was in love. I wanted to get married. I wanted a fag. My lips raw and chewed the ultimate marks of love. Desire creeping under my winter coat. No, don't come to the door with me. I'm supposed to be with my mate. My dad will go mad. You must go. You will phone me, won't you? Okay, so we conclude with the cigarette affair, which was the disastrous consequences of an even more disastrous romance. The cigarette affair. I kept the crushed fag packet under my pillow. Silk cut red, long empty of course. He bought them for me, even though he was nearly skint. That meant he loved me, didn't it? Eyes red, head heavy, lips dry. I love him We'll run away together. Silence. Bastard parents eat their liver and bacon. I'll get pregnant, I shout, trying hard not to blush. He'll come back for me. We were meant to be together. The moment I find true love with a real person, someone who was actually in the same room, it gets brutally snatched away. I'll never kiss anyone like that again. Bastard parents have ruined my life. Mum said he was only after one thing. Men like that often were. But she was wrong. He held me so tenderly. And he bought me my fags. Surely, if he come back for me now, my dad wouldn't hit him again. He'd see it was true love. And anyway, he's not with his wife anymore. Mate comes round, says he's going out with Renata. Red hair, a year above me. Does it with anyone who asks nicely. How could he? Our whole future swept away for the nearest scrubber. Didn't those 20 fags mean anything? Bastard parents get wind of this, but say nothing. Only that I can go up the disco as long as I'm back by 10 sharp. I throw the fag packet away. Thank you very much for listening. I've loved reading to you, and that's it. I will enjoy your poems too. Goodbye.